So you guys have been doing a great job solving equations, and now we're switching to inequalities such as greater than and less than. And at the end of this video, you want to be able to draw an inequality on a number line with an arrow in an open circle. Okay. So we're going to start with some simple ones, and we'll move on from there. Here we go. First, we'll start with a bag of tomatoes. All right, and we know that they weigh more than 5 pounds. We just don't know how much more. And so we're going to try to figure out all the possible numbers and put it on a number line. Sorry. So here, first off, we'll show that the bag of tomatoes, which we'll call x, is greater than, this is what this symbol means, 5. So it weighs more than 5 pounds. All right. So now we're going to find all the values of x that make it true. Notice here that it could be any number. It could be a whole number, like right here. We have 6 is definitely bigger than 5. We could also use fractions or decimals. You know, 5.1, 5.2, 5.3. All these are bigger than 5. We can use really big numbers, like 100 is bigger than 5. And of course, you can keep going for infinity. But we need to write it on a number line, okay? And this basically means any number bigger than 5 is true, as long as it's bigger than 5. Here's a case in point. X cannot equal 5. It means it's not true. It's no longer true. Because what we're writing is that this means it's greater than 5. It weighs more than 5 pounds. So it can't weigh 5 pounds. It has to weigh more. So 5 is not part of the solution, which is what we're about to show you on the number line. So here's the number line and what it would look like. To show that x is not part of the solution, take a look at this math note. The empty circle indicates the value below the circle is not a solution of the inequality. In other words, we know that 5 is not true because that's way more than 5 pounds. So we're going to put an empty circle there, like a hollow circle. That lets us know that 5 is not part of the equation. It's not true. And then we use the arrow in the direction of all the numbers that it is true. So anything greater than 5. And we put the arrow at the end. That lets us know this will keep going for all the numbers. All right. So that's how we can show x equals 100 is true. You know that because we have an arrow here that says all these numbers past 13 are true as well. And this, again, this doesn't just count for whole numbers, but any fractions, decimals, things like that, and of course whole numbers. So here we have a medicine bottle. A lot of medicine needs to be stored below a certain temperature because it'll ruin it. So it says here, store below 20 degrees Celsius. So we're going to find out all the possible solutions for storing this below 20 degrees Celsius. First, we write an equation that this medicine bottle, we'll call it W, is less than 20. In other words, it needs to be stored in somewhere less than 20 degrees Celsius. When we look at the solutions here, it could be just a little bit below, 19.9, and so on. So we have our decimals showing just a little bit below. And of course, we have our whole numbers, like 10 is less than 20. We can also go all the way down to negative numbers, -4, -5, and so on. All right? So this takes all the numbers in consideration, not just your whole numbers. So the inequality W, the medicine bottle, W is less than 20, is true for any value that's less than 20. So you can see here they have the open circle at 20 because it needs to be less than 20. You can't include 20. My arrow goes to the side, to the left, that includes all the numbers that are less than 20. And it ends with an arrow to let us know it can keep going all the way to 0, all the way to the negatives, everything. All right? So I'm going to have you guys do 2 through 6. I'm going to do number 1 right now. And there's 2 things I'm going to have you guys do. Substitution, to see that you kind of understand it, and then be able to draw it on a number line. So there are 2 things I'm looking for in each one of these problems. I'm going to do number 1 for you right now. So first it says, use the substitution to find solutions for each equality. So here's my inequality. H has to be bigger than 8. So I chose a number 9.2, that's bigger than 8. So with each one of these, you're going to choose a number that makes this statement true, okay? And then I need to put on a number line. So you're going to have to draw a number line. Here's my number line, and you can see I have just started at 7 and went all the way to 14. And my number line, the problem is I have to look at all the numbers greater than 8. So I can't include 8. So I'm going to put a big open circle above the 8. I draw my line showing all the numbers greater, and then we have an arrow at the end to show me we can keep going past 14. All right, and this is what I expect for each of these problems: a possible solution and your number line. And bring it to class, and you can compare yours to your classmates, see what they did the same and different. All right, see you in class. Bye-bye.